to completely reflect, after the season ends just 24 hours ago. But, heading into this season, some of your goals were to be a top 5 defensive team, do things by committee on offense, make the playoffs. For your group to accomplish all those things, just how proud are you of the collective of this group?
It just shows how good of a group we have. We're a fairly young team, and we set goals that we achieved this year. Of course, we wanted to go further in the playoffs. I think that's everyone wanted, but if you had to take a step back and actually look at the season, you had to say it's good, but we weren't satisfied at all, of course. But you have to say it was a hell of a season for us, for sure. So I'm still kind of reflecting back on it. It kind of seems surreal. Everyone packed to go to Boston. Everyone was locked in on getting to the next round, but I think it was a hell of a season for us, for sure.
You talked so much about wanting to be in the playoffs. Obviously you said you're still reflecting on it. Did it live up to everything that you imagined?
Oh, absolutely. And it just shows home court advantage is a thing. That Game 7 was rocking. That was super loud. We couldn't even hear each other talking on the court. And that's the atmosphere that you want to play in. It's just a lot of excitement around the playoffs, of course, from the fans, from the team, to the coaches. Everyone wants to be there, and now I see why. So for me, it's nothing less than that. For this team, I want to, whatever I can, to help this team get back there and us to go further. That's all my mind is on going into the summer. Be as healthy as possible, be in the best shape, so we can be that top 4 seed in the playoffs next year.
Obviously, this year you kind of had that early season injury with the hand, kind of a freak thing. Yeah. How much did that affect you throughout the course of the season? Having to stop so suddenly at the start of the year.
It affected me in a lot of ways. Of course, physically, my hand hurting, of course, but mentally, being out of the rotation for a while, just watching from the sidelines, us doing such a fantastic job, and then the pressure of coming back and picking up where Goga and Mo had left off. It was tough, and then it got to a point where I was doubting myself a little bit. Just being honest with it, but it was tough. It was tough, and I think a lot of people, outside of this facility, who was able to help me, encourage me, and keep me going, because it got to a point where I just felt like I wasn't good enough. But on the flip side of that, the fact that I was able to come back from that and help our team get to the playoffs and do what we did in the playoffs, I definitely look at myself, and I'm happy that I was able to do that for this team.
You've been locked in for a long time, obviously, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. How does it feel? Obviously, you'd rather be in Boston right now, but how does it feel, how does your body feel just knowing it's over for now and you can kind of take a little bit of a break for a few weeks?
Yeah, the body's definitely happy right now. Just to kind of debrief, let the body rest, recover, knees, hips, everything just kind of settle down. But like you said, no one wants to be here. But now that we are here, it's okay, now I got an opportunity to kind of let my body heal. So it's definitely a good and a bad thing, I would say.
How much did you feel the fan support continue to grow this season? You guys obviously had a tremendous home record, were perfect in the playoffs. How much did you feel that bond between your group and the fans continue to grow as the season progressed?
Ever since I've been here, they've been routed out, but it just shows that, the more you win, the more fans. Being in the playoffs, those home playoff games were rocking. Kids Center, the fans, I just give a lot of credit to them for bringing that energy, especially us going down 0-2 so early. They came with that energy, and I give a lot of credit to them, and they was able to do what was necessary to help us win those 3 games that we had at home.
Obviously, the results to tell you that this team was special, but what made this group special?
I think the biggest thing was that we was led by committee. No one cared about stats, minutes, recognition. It was just about winning. And the fact that with us being such a young team, that everyone was able to buy into that is rare. I talked to a lot of guys around the league, and they tell me all the different stories that they've gone through on their teams, and the fact that I'm in this situation where 1 through 15, they all just want to win. They don't care how we do it, as long as we're winning. That's very rare to find in this league. So, yeah.
How much hungrier are you guys as a group, knowing that you got to the playoffs, you got a taste of it, but you weren't able to get a little bit further?
I think that's what's on everyone's mental going into this offseason. It's how can we get further? If that's taking care of our body a little bit more, if that's getting no more shots now, if that's whatever the case is, like I think that's where everyone's kind of going into this offseason thinking like, we had a hell of a season, but we're not satisfied. We want to go further. Each year we want to be better, get further in the playoffs. So of course win that championship at some point. So I think that's what everyone is locked in on. Is just what can we do this offseason to help us for next season to go further.
Wendell, a lot of the guys spoke about this idea of home court advantage and games in January and February meaning a little bit more to getting that home court advantage. Is that what you guys feel like? Is it maybe that next year the focus on trying to get maybe some of those games?
Absolutely. That's you look back on it like you win 1 or 2 more games. We got home court advantage. So that's definitely something we look back on and know that gotta be more locked in on those games, knowing that they can be the difference maker going into the playoffs. So yeah, for sure.
Del, you know how tough it is to be a young player in this league. To see what Paolo's done over the first 2 seasons, over the course of this year, and then into the playoffs, and then even what he did in Game 7.
Yeah.
Just how impressive is it for a young player to put together what he's done?
I mean, I don't think words can really describe how talented he is. And what's on top of all that, he's just a good person. He's also of that crew that whatever it takes to win. He does all the little things. Of course he's a phenomenal scorer, but he does all the things that's necessary to win. He's a phenomenal leader. He talks up. We only be doing that at such a young age, barely 21. Or if he's 21, I don't even know if he's 21 yet. Yeah, but the sky's the limit for him. I'm just glad to be on this be able to share a court with him. The trajectory is he's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure.
You guys have talked about how this year was kind of the culmination of 3 years. I know this probably is what you want to hear right now. But how much does the way this season ended feel like part of the journey moving forward with this group?
I feel like everything happens for a reason. From when I first got traded here to now, it's obvious that we've gotten better on both ends of the court. We've got some veterans now in Joe, someone who brings a certain kind of leadership to this team that I feel like is necessary in order to win. And it just shows that we're continuing to grow. We're getting better each year. We've gotten better, more wins. Now we went to the playoffs this year. But it just shows like going into next year, we got to come in with that same hunger. Not that we're a playoff team. Don't expect we're going to easily get to the playoffs. Like we got to look at it like we're still not a playoff team. We got to go into that next season continuing to be hungry so we can get further. I think that's the biggest thing. I think we've done that, and the trajectory as well. We're doing really well in my opinion. Like I said, I feel like we should be in Boston right now, but if we look back on the last 3 or 4